Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as promised this year, I'll be doing more makeup videos as you can see here. So if you would like to see how I went ahead and achieved this look, it is beginner friendly. I will be taking you through it step by step and showing you all the products I'm using. Check out that highlight. So stay tuned. So let's get into it, you guys. Right into the eyebrows, which is what I do first. So as I say, this is very beginner friendly. I'm literally just using a pencil from the beauty supply store. I believe it was like $1 or $1.99. As you can see, it's J Cat. It's just a dark brown pencil. I'm filling in my eyebrows. Bottom line first and the top line, and then fill it in, and I'm just doing the same thing on the other side, just filling in my eyebrows. I try not to wear them so thick. They kind of looking thick on camera right now. And then I just go back with a thin brow pencil and kind of just smudge that in on both ends. As you can see, I'm just smudging it in, and yeah, so just going over it. I don't have any products on the pencil at all, and this pencil is from Sephora. And then I am going back in with some LA Girl Cosmetic Concealer just to clean up the brow a little bit. This is Fawn from LA Girl Cosmetics. So I use this all over my lid basically, and it serves as a primer for my eyeshadows that I will be applying a little bit. And I just take a little small pencil brush that's flat at the top and just kind of go over that, go over my liner. Clearly I've used a little bit too much of it. And yeah, so I just go back in with my finger and smudge it in. Basically, all I'm doing here is just making sure it's all over my eyelid and it's nicely smudged in before we move on to the next step. So let's do eyeshadow. First, I'll be using the Saharan by Juvia's, and the first color I'll be using is called Katsina. I'll just be using a nice fluffy brush. I believe these are from Sephora. Is literally just applying some as my first transition color. It is a lighter color, so it makes for a good transition. I like these shadows because it is nicely pigmented, and it goes on really smoothly. So this will be the first transition color, and I'm just making sure it's nice and smooth on there. Next, we'll be using Masquerade by Juvia's. And on this one, I'll be using the color Burkina, like Burkina Faso. And this will be my second transition color. Still not too dark, but a little bit darker. And I'm just using literally the same fluffy brush. And I'm just going over it, making it the second transition color. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm looking down so much because that's where the mirror is. And don't mind me, I'm just a beginner in this. So I promise we'll get better as it goes on. So my second transition color, like I said, is from the Masquerade by Juvia's. And I'm using the color Burkina. Now we're back to the Saharan palette, and I'm using the color Lulu. So this is literally going to be the one that's supposed to be on the eyelid, basically over there by the crease. And I am using a different brush. This one's a little bit thicker or harder, however you want to call it, just to put some more product on there. So I'm using the color Lulu right now. And in the same palette, you guys, I'm going back in and I'm using the color Kia. So this is a nice green color. I'm using a flat brush. I wanted this to be my lid color basically. And I want it to be the color that make my eye pop. So I'm just using the flat brush. The bristles are a little bit thicker, so it'll help me apply some more product on there. So that's what you'll be seeing me do. Literally using a thicker flat brush and just going over it. Now all I'm doing is taking all my brushes that I've used and going back over it with a little bit of the shadows that I've used previously and just smudging it back in and making sure it's on there. So next on the same palette, I'll be going in with the color Senegal. So Senegal is a lighter golden color, and I'm literally just applying this on the corners of my eyes. So I'm applying the color Senegal right now on the corners of the eye. I think just to tone down the green a little bit is just giving me a little bit more of a natural vibe, you could say. And just going back in with the other colors and just making sure it's blended. That's the word, making sure everything is blended. Looking back at it, I think the color Senegal was too light, so I'm going back in with the color Bororo. It's pinkish, so I'm just adding that again to the ends over the color Senegal. Don't mind me, you guys. I'm literally learning how to do eyeshadow as we get on with this. And I think I like it like that. Yeah, I think I like that. So moving on to the rest of the face, I'm using Pond's to moisturize my face. I can get a little dry, so I make sure I have some good moisture in before putting on any foundation. I put it all over my face. A little bit goes a very long way. And I make sure I'm nicely moisturized. Can't be dry out here, guys. And there you are. And then next, I'm using this Maria Badescu skincare. I leave it down at the bottom. And I just spray this all over my face. Next, I'm using this Ella Girl color corrector in the color orange just to kind of conceal. I felt like I was looking tired and kind of had bags under my eyes. And I feel like I get dark around my mouth, and I just use this flat brush and just smooth it out, blend it out nicely. Kind of look like I use a little bit too much product. Ugh. But yeah, so I'm just going to be blending. Use the brush. Now I'm just using a damp beauty sponge as well, just to make sure it's nicely blended and my foundation can go on better. So next we're doing foundation, and I'll be using this Maybelline Fit Me. I'll be applying with this Real Techniques foundation brush. My color is 355. It's a coconut color, and it's dewy plus smooth. So I really love this foundation. It's my go-to foundation. I just put some on the back of my hand, use the brush, and literally smooth it all over. As you guys can see, it's a nice coverage. I would say it's a full coverage. And this is literally my go-to day-to-day foundation. You can find it at any of the drugstore. I usually get mine from like CVS or Walgreens. It's probably $5.99, $6.99. And I just love it. It blends in so nicely. It dries dewy, which I love. And here I'm just blending it in. Next is concealer. I'm using, once again, the LA Girl concealer. This is still in the color Fawn. This is the same color I used when I was doing my brows, cleaning up my brows and all of that stuff. And I love this stuff. It's nice, it's cheap. You can find it at any beauty supply store. I'm not sure if they sell it at the drugstores yet, but I just love it. So I do under my eyes, my chin, my nose area, my forehead, and bring it down to my lip, my cupid bow, and yep. And then I'm using a Real Techniques beauty blender. The beauty blender is damp, and once again, you're blending it in. And I'm gonna be saying that a lot on here. So I'm just tapping, not wiping, but tapping it in. I'm tapping the makeup in and making sure I blend it out on the sides, and that's all I will be doing here. I'm doing it on both sides. I always start under my eyes, well, on my chin, and then under my eyes, and go over my nose and my forehead, of course. But yeah, you use a nice damp beauty blender and it gets you a nice smooth finish. I love this beauty blender. This one is by Real Techniques, and it's not that pricey either. You can get one for like $14.99. a pack of 2. So after applying the concealer, you have to set it. I like to use the Saharan Buttercup setting powder, and I just use that same beauty blender and I apply it to all the areas where I did put that concealer on. So once again, under my eyes, along the bridge of my nose, below my cheekbones, and basically we're applying this, and what we're doing right now is going to be called baking. I apply it around there because that's where I get the most oily the quickest. And next I'll just be putting on a contour. So now we're contouring. I'm using a contour brush from the same line, Real Techniques brushes, and I'm just putting it, yep, around my forehead there a little bit. I usually don't do this, but I just decided to try this time. And yeah, putting it around my forehead, and I'm just talking away. Now I'm just using the same brush that I've used to put on my foundation to just blend the contouring out. And I'm just blending, blending, blending while I am letting the rest of my face bake. So first I'm making sure the concealers are blended out, and then I blend out, take away the powder below my cheekbones, of course. Now I'm using this CoverGirl powder. I'm just adding a little bit to this brush right here, and I'm literally brushing away the rest of my setting powder, my Sacha Buck setting powder that was under my eyes baking this whole time. And I'm just using a little bit of that powder just to set the rest of my face. So I'm just putting that all over my face now, as you guys can see, and it's nicely blended. Nicely blended. Just putting it all over my face, and I am loving the look right now. So I go back with my small brush that I use to clean up my eyebrows when I put on that concealer, and just go back over it. I'm literally just cleaning up my brows and adding a little bit of that same CoverGirl powder just to give me, I guess, some sort of highlight a little bit and to clean up the rest of that makeup. And going back over the makeup, the eyeshadow, to make sure it wasn't popping enough for me. Make sure it's popping. So I'm just going back over all the eyeshadows again and just making sure they're nice and there and blending them in, you guys. So here I went back into the Saharan palette, and I'm just using the color Lulu on my eyeline right there. Sorry, I didn't even get to show you guys the palette. And I'm just smudging that out along my eyeline just to give me a little pop. And then I went back in and I'm using the color Senegal to bring that in and blend it in from the water, on the waterline from the inner corner of my eye. So applying it to the inner corner of my eye and the tear ducts area is giving me that pop, basically, that we look for, that brightness right there in the inner corner. And next I'll be doing my cheeks, and right now I'm just applying some blush. This one was from NARS. It's very light, as you guys can see, can barely see it. And then I am just adding on some mascara on my lashes just to prep them and separate them and prep them for my lash extensions, which I'm sure I will have to do off camera. And now I'm just applying some highlighter. I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. And my favorite one to use is the Golden Bronze. I use that one all the time. I put it at the top of my cheekbones, you know, just to give me some pop. And then I put it on the tip of my nose a little bit, and then along the bridge of my nose, of course, you know, just to give me that glow. And I love Anastasia. Put some on my forehead, on my chin, because a girl just gotta glow everywhere. And yeah, hopefully it's not too much, but I love, love, love it. And yep. Okay, so that's enough glowing before I blind you guys. Now I'm just doing my lips. I am applying this light brown lip pencil, and I'm just applying it kind of almost all over my lips. Once again, I believe this is a NYX lip pencil, and I love this pencil because it applies matte kind of, and I just put it all over my lips. I don't just line my lips, I just put it all over my lip and then I blot it. As you can see, I'm going over it again. And I love this pencil. It's nice and light brown, which gives me somewhat of a nude lip, somewhat white of a colored lip, but I like it. It's nice and light. And last but not least, I'm just spraying my face with the same Mario Badescu skincare. And this is just setting spray as well. And I'm just letting everything set. Now, how do you guys like this? So I will be going off camera in a minute, but I'm just admiring my look. I think I did a pretty good job to be a beginner. So hopefully you guys love it too. So off camera, I went ahead and I did my hair, added some lashes and some eyeliner and some gloss on my lips. What do you guys think? I don't think I did so bad for a beginner's look. And yeah, I'll be doing more videos like this. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. You can find me on every platform under Sarah Ba. Thank you guys so much for watching. Mwah! I'll see you guys next time. Deuces!